Configuring the speed pickup input to the Himmelstein 700 plus signal conditioning instrument. We have the instrument connected to a speed pickup that's installed on a torque transducer, Himmelstein torque transducer. The speed pickup is connected via cable to channel 2 on the rear of the instrument. To configure the input for the speed pickup, you press the menu key. Use the right arrow to scroll until it displays channel calibration. Press the down arrow. The speed pickup is in channel 2, so we want to hit the right arrow to scroll until it displays channel 2 calibration. When that is correct, hit the down arrow, and now it will ask you to enter the full scale value for the speed pickup or for the speed measurement. In this particular case, the speed rating of this transducer is 15,000 RPM. We can set the full scale to be 15,000 RPM by hitting the enter key. And now we will display a cursor and a flashing number, and we can change the value of that number with the up and the down arrows. We want 15,000, so we'll leave that displayed as number 1. With the right arrow, we'll scroll to the next position, and now the 0 will be flashing, and with the up arrow we can change that 0 to be a 5, so that now the display reads 15,000 as the full scale. Press the enter key to accept that value and hit the right arrow to move to the next step. The next question is the transducer frequency. We are using a 60-tooth gear to measure the speed. So we are going to enter in for the transducer frequency the value of 60. So again, hit the enter key. Change the first digit to be a 6. Move the cursor to the decimal point, and with a down arrow, move the decimal point back to the left until it reads 60.00. Hit the enter key to accept, and the right arrow again. And now it asks for the transducer value. So we want this value to also be 60 with a 60-tooth gear as the input. So we hit enter. Change the first digit to be 60. Move the cursor to the decimal point, and with the down arrow, move the decimal point to the left. Hit the enter key again to accept that value, and then hit the right arrow again. Now it's asking for the type of input. There are a number of different pickups that we can connect to, either a 2-pin passive pickup or a 3-pin zero velocity pickup. By hitting the enter key, we can scroll through the available input types, starting with a 10 millivolt peak-to-peak input type, which would be from a passive pickup. Any of the millivolt inputs will be from a 2-pin passive pickup, and we allow you to select from 10 to 200 millivolts peak-to-peak, depending upon the amount of electrical noise that may exist in your installation. In this particular case, we're connecting to a 3-pin zero velocity pickup, and that would be the TTL input. Alternatively, if with the right pickup installed, we can also accept a TTL quadrature style input, so you'll be able to get both speed as well as direction of rotation. But in this case, we'll go back and select TTL as the TTL input, press enter, accept that input, and then press the right arrow again. It asks you to specify the polarity, which is either inverted or not inverted. We leave that selection at not inverted. And then we can also select an input filter that would be applied to that signal. Typically we would leave it unfiltered, or you can select a 20 kilohertz filter on that input. So we'll leave that as unfiltered. And then it will ask you for the lowest frequency, which will affect how quickly the displayed value will return to 0. In this case, we can select either 1% of full scale or 0.01% of full scale. We'll leave the selection of 1% of full scale, so that gives us a quicker return to 0. Make that selection, confirm it with the Enter key. We're now at the end of the menu for the speed pickup calibration. That's because the right arrow, the display will flash. So we've made all the selections. Hit the menu key again to go back to the main display. So now we have on channel 2 the speed pickup, and as we rotate the shaft, you will get the display of the speed.